Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the ESL India Premiership Master League Summer Season. I'm your host, Angela, for today, and this event is brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX Intel, and organized by Nordman Gaming. Today, we have some great games lined up for you folks. It's going to be Clash Royale, Counter-Strike, and Dota 2. And Clash Royale today, we're going to have two amazing players who have been part of us, even in the 2017 edition. Arpan being the first player of this tournament, he also had two finale winnings of the summer and fall. In the winter, of course, he took a fall to Mukul. But today, going up against him, we have Saif, who's also a very top contender in the ESL India Premiership. He also has had podium finishes. So let's introduce these two players and give them faces before we head into the game. Arpan, let's see you first. Alright, so that is Arpan for you folks. You've seen him a lot of times before in the ESL India Premiership. As of now in the Masters League, he's played 2 games and also scored 2 victories for himself. Right now above him only sits Sutakshan on the leaderboard, and going up against him today, the second contender of today's match is going to be Saif. So let's put a face to that name. And that is Saif for you. Both these players are from Gujarat, Arpan being from Surat, but we have Saif, who is from Bharuch. Now, Saif himself has played 1 game till now in the ESL India Premiership summer season. He played it against Mukul, but over there he faced a loss against him. But he's only played 1 game, and in the Masters League, you have chances that keep coming. So let's see how these two players are going to perform. If we have to talk about their favorite card, we'll first talk about Arpan's favorite card. He loves to play the Miner, as we can see on the board, and Saif loves to play the 3 Musketeers. They've got amazing trophies also to themselves for now. Let's check out what they have banned for this game. We're going to see that Saif has opted to ban out the P.E.K.K.A, while we have Arpan, who's decided to ban out the 3 Musketeers. Now, 3 Musketeers being one of Saif's main cards, this is going to be a risky choice for him, whether he's opting to make sure that Saif doesn't really get this victory for himself. I've seen these two players already play the Masters League, so I can tell you that Saif loves to play the Balloon, he loves to play the Lava, he loves to play the Golem. Both these players love to play the Dark Prince and the Prince. And if we talk about Arpan in general, even he loves to play the Dark Prince, but the Giant also is one of his top favorite cards. So I'm hoping to see whether he opts to go and play the Giant for this matchup against Saif, or he opts to go and play out a new card. So let's head into the game. We have our caster waiting for us, Manoj Super Gola. Take it and go.
And yes, today this clash match is between Arpan and Saif. Saif, who's played 1 match so far and lost it to Mukul, and Arpan, well, he's up there on the leaderboard. I think he's second right now, as Angie has said. So what we're going to do right now is just going to stare at the screen until either player plays a single card, because, you know, they haven't played a card yet. Saif opens with a Mega Minion, not giving much info to Arpan about what his deck is. Arpan replies with the same exact card. And yeah, the players are exchanging a bit of light-hearted banter right there. Night Witch coming up from Saif on the right lane. He's getting ready to start a big, huge push using his Golem right now. So looks like Saif is playing a pump deck with a Golem and a Dark Prince. That is quite strange. And yeah, Arpan is probably going to lose his tower here on the right, thanks to the Golem and the Night Witch and the multitude of bats just pushing him. Saif is also going to lose his tower there on the left, thanks to the Prince, the Giant, and the Royal Ghost. Are they doing a race to finish or something? They're just going straight for the throat. Like, this is the King Tower that's taking damage right now. Almost a minute 30 seconds in. This is the halfway mark, and Arpan's King Tower is at 889 HP and dropping, while Saif's tower is holding steady at 1322. This has got to be the strangest game we've seen on the Premiership so far. Saif hasn't revealed that he has a Tornado yet, and he hasn't even put down his Elixir Pump yet. While Arpan hasn't shown Saif that he has a Poison in his deck. I don't know why he's trying to save this card though, because he really needs to cycle that out and get into some good defensive cards for that aggressive golem that Saif just picked up. Yeah, this golem is definitely going to destroy this tower unless, of course, Saif uses his first thanks to the little tiny poke coming out from the prince. And congratulations, Arpan. In this game of quick draws, you have won for now. 1-0. So this must be the shortest... no, not the shortest. I guess the fastest 3-crown victory we've seen so far. And I'm actually anxious to see what kind of game that we're gonna watch in round 2. And like Angie said, Arpan has banned Saif's Three Musketeers, and Saif has opted not to ban Arpan's favorite card, which is the Miner. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. He's banned the P.E.K.K.A, which, if memory serves right, Arpan has used in his last victory. So I guess we'll have to see if that ban proves effective or if it's just a red herring. So Arpan now has learnt his lesson that Saif is going to start using the double knight pushes. He's going to use the golem and stuff. So he has opted to use the Inferno Tower, which is a really, really, really good way to defend against these huge units that Saif is putting out one by one. So the Dark Prince from Saif has managed to reach Arpan's tower and bring it down to 1504 HP. And Arpan's Goblin Barrel, because it was left unchallenged by Saif, has brought it down to 1649. And yeah, we see the first Inferno tower going down. Saif must just feel really bad about this because, you know, that means his Giant and Prince push is not going to go anywhere. Good defense by Arpan right there. Manages to sacrifice a Miner to tank whatever damage the Prince wanted to put out, and in the process just saving his tower from further ruin. We'll have to see if Arpan can dole out some decent damage with the Princess, because I think that will be key to his victory in this round. If he's able to save his Princess from Saif's little units and from Saif's removal spells, it's going to be really, really good. Dark Prince manages to get his initial hit off as well as one additional hit onto the tower, bringing it down to 886 HP, which is alarmingly low, especially since we haven't even entered double elixir yet. And when we do enter double elixir, Saif's deck will clearly be in the lead because it's a much heavier deck. The Prince is coming out from Arpan. Let's see if she will be able to do any sort of damage to him. But looking at that poison card in Saif's hand, I don't think she'll be able to do much. Especially since there are two princes just running at her. Oh wow, the prince actually managed to make contact with the other tower as well. And this giant almost reached Arpan's tower but was distracted by the Inferno Tower. And Saif has used this chance to poison down Arpan's tower to 320 HP. Again, Miner from Arpan coming out, his favorite card, not able to do much, only brought it down to 743 HP, 64 HP left on his own tower. And he manages to expend a fireball to bring down Saif's tower to 245 HP, so we just have to wait and see if Arpan can rotate it down again, use a fireball or a Miner to finally destroy the tower. Will it be enough? Yes, it. So we are entering overtime. And clearly Arpan is in the disadvantage here. His tower is sitting at 1261 HP, which is just 2 hits each from a Prince or 1 or 3 poisons away. And it looks increasingly likely that Saif is going to take this round off our multi-time champion right now. Zap going to come down on those minions? No, Saif opts to use the poison to completely destroy them. That's a pretty positive elixir trade if you discount the Prince right there. Arpan is in some real hot water right now. I see the Prince and bats coming. Yeah, that Miner couldn't even distract that entire push for even half a second. He just instantly vaporized as soon as he popped up. Giant is going to reach the Princess Tower, and now he just starts punching it. Poison also helping him along the way. There we go. Saif has taken game 2, tying the score at 1 each. And we'll just have to wait and see if Arpan can, if this is a reverse sweep or if Arpan actually turns out to be the winner in the end. So since I'm really curious about what's happening, we'll just jump straight into game 3. We'll just move this right along. Yeah, my production head just looked at me and said, dude, you need to cover a lot of time. Okay, I guess we will cover a lot of time. It's fine. I hope this is going to be a 5-match series, so that should take care of itself. So Saif has switched back to his Golem Dark Prince deck with a rocket kicker. I don't know what he plans to use the rocket for, because his deck is pretty slow paced if you consider the elixir requirement of the cards that make up the core of it. I guess we won't be seeing a Golem or a rocket, either one of those cards, until the very end. While Arpan has switched to using poison since he saw how effective it was against him. There is the zap coming out from Arpan right there, stopping the Dark Prince in his tracks. But the Baby Dragon did manage to get a couple of spits off onto the Arpan's Princess Star. Puts down a combo of a Giant and a Prince on the left side, Arpan. The Prince manages to push the Giant far ahead, and that tower is definitely going down. It is definitely going down. One more hit from the Prince. Yeah, there we go. Now we see a Golem right here on the right, barreling down towards Arpan's Princess Star, basically unchallenged. Like that Mega Minion is just scratching its back or something. Like it's hit the Golem. This is the 14th hit that the Golem has taken from the Mega Minion, allowing enough time for the Dark Prince to come and bring down the tower as well. This is like almost like a repeat of what happened in the first game. 2 minutes in, both the players are down a tower each. Now, considering the cards that the players have in their decks in this particular round, I want to give the edge to Saif because he has a Golem and a Rocket. The Rocket is a very, very, very effective finisher card. If you consider that the Golem is now, thanks to Arpan's lack of Inferno Dragon or Inferno Tower, is going to be able to tank any defense that Arpan throws at him for a long, long time. But looks like Saif has decided to sacrifice a lot of HP on his King Tower. Now it's sitting at 1035, and finally Saif has started his Golem push again. We'll just have to wait and see if Arpan is going to get bamboozled and rocketed upon. Again, the Dark Prince coming out from Arpan, an aggressive Dark Prince, not able to do much damage. And Saif's own Dark Prince is doing a wonderful, wonderful job at defending his star. The poison has brought it down to 755 HP, but that's okay. Now we see a huge push coming out from Saif right there. Will that be enough though? He has the rocket ready. He has launched the rocket. Is it enough? No, it's not. 238 HP left on Arpan's tower, and yeah, I think Arpan has got this in the bag. That Giant is going to make it all the way to Saif's King Tower, and oh, I was wrong. While I was distracted by all those huge units up top, Saif has done a very sneaky zap Baby Dragon move right there to bring down whatever was remaining on Arpan's tower, bringing the score to 2-1 in favor of Saif. That's a pretty bold move. So even though, like, I want to talk about why I missed it. I guess it's just because I'm still not at the same level as our Masters players, even though I'm in the same trophy category. Like we often say in Dota and like we often say in CSGO as well, MMR is just a number. I think Sai sitting behind me would agree. MMR is just a number. Anyway, so before we head off into Game 4, though, because that might actually be the last game if Saif wins it, I just want to take a moment of our time, you know. I'm going to drag it out as long as we can. You know what I'm going to do, Kunal? I want to thank our sponsors. And you know who our title sponsor is? Do you now? Do you want to say it out loud? Come on, don't be shy, come. Okay, fine, I'll do it myself. So thank you, Women by HP. Thank you for giving us the support, the resources necessary to bring the ESL India Premiership to you, our viewers every day at 6. And thank you, HyperX. And thank you, Intel, Red Bull, and of course, us good folks at Nordwin Gaming and ESL India, bringing these wonderful, wonderful esports to you live every day at 6. And having said that, let's see if Game 4 changes the trajectory of this matchup right now. Let's see if Arpan can even it out with a score of 2-all, or let's say if Saif manages to push it out. You know what? In the interest of good gameplay, in the interest of entertainment, in the interest of esports for life, I'm gonna bet all my trophies that Arpan is going to win this match. I don't even care about the type mismatch. I don't even care about the decks, and I just hope Arpan wins. And having said that, now I'm gonna actually take a closer look at their decks. Saif again has opted to play his Golem Rocket Kicker combo, while Arpan has switched it up a bit. He's using double dark. He's using a double Prince Giant push card with a fireball actually instead of a zap. I'm assuming because Arpan already has a log. Luckily for him, Saif doesn't have any minions, or he would have been in real trouble. So a minute into the game, Arpan's tower is at 1700, while Saif's is almost at 1900. And look at this, Arpan has a musketeer in his deck. That's not a card that you see often in the Premiership or in any like huge tournament most of the time. Okay. Arpan's giant and mega minion have punched Saif's Princess Tower into oblivion, but Saif's golem has reached Arpan's tower, and I think it's a pretty safe bet that it's going to destroy it. Yeah. Slowly but surely, even though it's taking damage from the Dark Prince right there, especially the suicide damage right there. It brings the tower down instantly. 67 HP, one more swipe from the golem and the suicide damage as well, bring it down. So the tower count right now is both the players are down one tower each. The remaining Princess Towers on either side are almost at the same HP, and I have got to give the edge to Arpan in double elixir because you know it's a heavier deck and it gets a bigger boost from having double elixir. Again, we see a Prince and Giant push on the right, reaching the tower. The Giant has started punching the tower, and we're going to see the two Princes actually start hitting the tower as well. I think it's gonna go down pretty quickly. Oh wow, nice tornado from Saif coming there. Oh, 192 HP, that's within fireball range. I hope Arpan realizes this. Come on Arpan, you have the fireball. What are you waiting for? Come on buddy. What you doing? Oh. There we go. Rocket coming off from Saif. It's gross overkill, but he does manage to get the last Princess Star, and now we have entered overtime. That's a decent push coming out from Arpan entering into overtime. Two Princes out on the board with a Mega Minion, and now they've started bashing the tower in. Look at how fast the tower is melting, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. That was less than 3 seconds of tower combat. And wow, so looks like Arpan has come back with a 3-crown victory. And now we are actually going to head into game 5. That's interesting to say the least. Like, we've seen more or less the same sort of decks being used all 4 games. And I myself haven't noticed either player make any huge mistakes so far. So I don't know what exactly is the differentiating factor here. Maybe Angela could do some research and enlighten us after the game, as I'm pretty sure she will. Okay, Mini P.E.K.K.A. and a Musketeer. Okay, Arpan is moving more and more into the basic cards, and it's quite exciting to watch. Like, they've been proven to be very, very effective, especially since I guess most players haven't encountered them in tournament play and hence don't actually know how to defend against them or play against them. But we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Mini P.E.K.K.A. and the Mega Minion proving too much of a powerful opposition for the Dark Prince to tank. And a minute in, we've seen quite a few units die. We've seen quite some action going on in the center of the playing field, but so far neither player has managed to make one of his units even touch the other player's star. We see Saif using a log to damage Arpan's star, but that doesn't really count because he actually used it against the Dark Prince to knock off his shield. Okay, Musketeer, Giant and Mini P.E.K.K.A push coming out from Arpan over here on the right. This is going to be deadly. This is going to be deadly. Yeah, the Giant is going to punch the tower into oblivion. 810 HP. Now 1 HP. Yeah, 1 HP left. Yeah, I think we can bid that tower goodbye even to the slightest breeze coming out from Arpan. I guess now all he has to do is concentrate on defense. Defend as much as he can. Save his tower's HP as much as he can. And then put some more pressure on Saif's left Princess Tower. What lucky timing. Arpan's double knight push getting a huge boost thanks to double elixir. And now we're going to see some huge pushes starting here from the left back of Arpan's playing field. Again, Saif knows this and he has instantly started spamming his Giant and Dark Prince right there, making sure the Giant is going to reach the tower. Manages to punch it thrice, but dies to the Mini P.E.K.K.A. Like, the Mini P.E.K.K.A is such a huge source of DPS. It's a wonder it's not costlier. Look at that, like it's tanking the tower, the Musketeer and the Dark Prince, and has managed to bring the Dark Prince down to getting killed by a half and a puff wala HP. 154 HP left on Arpan's tower. That Giant is going to punch it once and bring it down. But that's not what we're here to watch. We're here to watch what kind of pressure Arpan is able to put on Saif to bring his left Princess Star down. Good timing on the Dark Prince right there. He has managed to avoid the melee damage coming out from the Mini P.E.K.K.A. But, oh yeah, good time, good time. The Mega Minion manages to destroy the Mini P.E.K.K.A before it is able to reach either the Musketeer or the tower, effectively giving Arpan 5 elixir lead. An aggressive placement of the Giant and the Dark Prince right there. Managed to reach the tower. The Giant managed to punch it once, but then it died. Again, we're going to see either a log or a fireball. Maybe he could have waited half a second more on the fireball to get the Mega Minion in range as well, but I'm sure he was worried that the Prince might just get, the Mini P.E.K.K.A might just get too far out of range for the fireball to be effective. And let's face it, the Mini P.E.K.K.A is a much bigger threat than the Musketeer could be. Ooh. Slight miscalculation by Arpan right there. That mistake might just cost him the game, but we won't know until one more tower goes down. Again, 1100 HP left on Saif's tower, 1827 on Arpan's. And the action is just has been going back and forth. Like, this is tough to predict. Oof. One hit from the Mini P.E.K.K.A would have sealed the deal right there, since Saif has a zap and a fireball handy. Is it going to be enough though? Yeah, I'm pretty sure one more punch from, yes it is. So fireball, log, and Saif wins this matchup against Arpan. Congratulations, you have beaten the multi-time champion. So that's it, guys. Finally, Saif has won this matchup with a score of 3-2, and yeah, he has effectively convinced us that he belongs in the Masters League. He has beaten Arpan pretty fair and square, even though Arpan has made a couple of mistakes, like using the fireball before the log and pushing the Musketeer too far out of range for the log. Maybe that would have made all the difference in the world, but we don't know. Like, I guess Angela will tell us if I was right or wrong. So let's head back to the studio.
Alright, and welcome back to the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership Masters League. That was one insanely close game coming in from these two amazingly talented players, Saif and Arpan. I mean, Hats off to you, Saif. I've always put you in a category of being one of those very defensive players. And I mean, 2017 was a year where you were always playing defensive, and now I see you going all out aggressive. I think you're more a person of just two extremes. And the first two games were just out of the box brilliant. I mean, Arpan did try so very hard in the final game to take that game away from you, but you kept your ground very mastered. You have made sure to make yourself very clear out there that you deserve to be in the Masters League, like Manoj Supergola said. And by the way, thank you, Manoj Supergola, for that amazing, amazing cast. Let's talk more about these games. I mean, both these players love to play the Dark Prince and the Prince, but the MVP card of this particular matchup would be the Giant. I mean, both these players played the Giant card because mostly because both their major cards were banned. We saw that the Pekka got banned out and the Three Musketeers banned out, which are two of these players' favorite cards. Now, getting into the Giant, the best way for them to really counter the Giant was something with very aggressive damage. And when we talk about taking down the Giant, it's not really easy to take down a Giant with flying units nowadays, because people normally just go ahead and play a zap spell, or they use a poison, and that kind of just takes down all your major air defense, which is your maximum damage output dealers. Now, in return to that, when we reach the fifth game of this particular matchup, they both decided to go with the mini Pekka. Now, the mini Pekka is particularly small, like we know, but he does a lot of damage. And these two players just taking them out to just counter the Giants. They both had such similar decks in the final game. They had the Musketeer popped out, not really seen in the ESL India Premiership. They didn't opt to go for the balloon. They didn't opt to go for the lava. They mostly played ground defense. I think Arpan and Saif both like to play ground units more than air units. And that kind of is what made this game so interesting for me to watch. I mean, both of the games, we didn't see just one crown victories or just two crown victories. We saw even three crown victories. And particularly in the final game, I love the way Saif played. Like Manoj mentioned, yes, Arpan did make a few mistakes with his fireball. Even the last placement of his Giant, when Saif had already dropped the Giant, he did not really have the elixir to take that push forward after he dropped the Giant. And that's where a little mistake happened, because Saif was able to drop the Giant and the Pekka, which finally did the blow that was needed to end that overtime match. So hats off to both these players. I see them contending in the finale also, and I'm hoping to see these two play on the same basis in the upcoming matches. Arpan is going to be facing his first loss in the Master League, and Saif is going to be taking home his first victory. So congratulations to both you players. Coming up next, we have Counter-Strike Global Offensive for you folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be just back after a short break.